Good evening. This meeting of the Planning Commission for the City of East Ridge will now come to order for October the 2nd, 2023. And first of all, can I get a roll call, Ms. Middleton?
Chairperson Tuggle,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Howe,
Here.
Commission Member Cornelius, Commission Member Williams,
Here.
Commission Member Witt.
Here.
Thank you. And I trust everybody's had a moment to review the minutes for the August 7th, 2023 meeting, and I'll entertain a motion.
Make a
I'll make-
motion. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Commission Member Howell and a second from Commission Member Witt. Get a roll call, please.
Vice Chairperson Howe,
Yes.
Commission Member Williams,
Yes.
Commission Member Witt,
Yes.
Chairperson Tuggle.
Yes. Okay, on the agenda, it says here communication and comments by the public now. We will ask for that after the item has been reviewed, unless there's something really pressing you want to say before we go over it with the city staff. But we'll always allow time for comment after we read that item. So unless you have a burning need, you'll have an opportunity here in about 5 minutes. So, everybody good? Okay. So there is no old business, and we have one item of new business. That is the request of Sybil Corcoran to have the property located at 1317 Sannheisie Drive, tax map 169KF029, rezoned from R1 Residential District to C5 Neighborhood Commercial District. Mr. Howell.
Good evening, members of the Planning Commission. So this rezone is from R1 to C5 would be to use an existing residential home as mixed use with the office on the first floor with residential on the second floor, which is a permitted use in the C5 district. To the north of the property is duplex and single unit residential. To the east is duplex, single unit residential, and to the south is single unit residential. There is commercial use approximately 330 feet to the south side of this parcel from Ringgold Road. The intent of the C5 Neighborhood Commercial District is to allow development of small commercial service enterprises, which are both compatible and complementary to the residential properties within its vicinity. Business located within this district shall be for retail services that benefit and convenience the majority of the residential neighboring residents. The staff does have concerns with a few issues here with it. Would not be able to accommodate 9 by 18 parking spaces for the front of the home. There is a convenient of ingress and egress to Sannheisie from the property. Property also being C5, if rezoned with having R1 residential adjoining it, would require a landscape buffer. Now this particular property, I believe it is, majority of the parcels in East Ridge are 50 by 150. There are hardships in our zoning landscape requirements that you can reduce that up to 50% for your yard setback. So in this case, you would require a type B landscape buffer on this one. But it could be reduced to 10 feet. The type A would be a 20-foot, but due to the size of the lot, it could be reduced to 10 foot. One other thing on this the staff has concerns with, it does not make good use of transitional zoning. You would have basically a spot zone between two residential properties. That's all I have.
Thank you. Is there any questions from the commission?
I have a question. Is there a reason that the applicants pursued C5 versus an O1 zoning?
I think either way you go here, you're looking at a spot zoning this parcel. They're wanting to use it as an office district. I think, and I haven't talked to the applicants on this, there was mention in the RPA case report, staff report, that it was going to be for a very low traffic type operation, insurance, I believe it is. Depending on the amount of traffic inside this, for this parcel, it could be classified in R1 as a home-based business. Now, there are a lot of restrictions on a home-based business within R1, traffic being one of them. You can't, increase the traffic on this property. I don't know if that's the case if this is something they were looking at to the C5, because, it is like I said, a neighborhooding district that, it has to be compatible with the surrounding development form. So that would be something to take into consideration, that it could be possible to use this as a home-based business, but you couldn't change the exterior appearance. You wouldn't have the the landscape buffer requirements that you would in the C5. You know, the structure can stay as it is, no signs would be allowed and things of that nature, but, you know, you can't increase traffic, you can't increase noises, you can't sell anything out of the house, any commodities inside the house. So, like I said, it's very difficult in R1. They want to keep that. If you're going to run a home-based business in R1, it's got to be very low-key.
And there is, I thought it was C5, is it C4 that allows for parking in the rear to fit the requirement? I think there is, we did that originally for doing like the zero setback with parking in the rear, the thought being like Kingwood Pharmacy kind of area, they would be able to optimize parking in the rear with the road movements, et cetera. Is that
City
allowed by
Council did,
C5?
City Council did pass an ordinance that basically anything on the Highway 41 corridor, the SR8, all these buildings on Ringo Road can be placed 5 feet to the property lines with making it more pedestrian friendly. That's what East Ridge is really wanting, we're looking at to do, and make it more pedestrian friendly, where you would have parking in the rear of these structures.
But only Ringgold Road, so it
Only
doesn't
on
affect
Ringo
San
Road.
Jose.
It only
Okay.
pertains to Ringo Road, yes.
Guess it would help if I went to the council meetings. Thank you.
You can watch them.
I could watch them. That's true. Thank you.
You just ask for an update when the zoning thing.
I like asking council. Yeah, good. So, do you have any questions? Anybody else on the commission have a question? Okay, is the applicant present? Would you like to come and speak? And if you don't mind giving your name and your address, please.
My name is Sybil Corcoran, and my address is 1317 Sannheiser Drive. My intention, I am an insurance agent, by the way. My intention would be to live at my home and also to work out of my home. My office is mostly internet and phone-based. As a matter of fact, I currently have an office outside of my home. And I believe I've had one customer visit my office in the last 2 weeks. So it is very much internet and phone-based, so I don't get a lot of traffic. So,
Sure. And what is the reason for changing the zoning, understanding that you are allowed to operate a cottage business in your current zoning? What's the interest in changing?
right, well, I mean, I do intend on growing my business, and, you know, at some point, you know, I might have more than one person visit in more than 2 weeks, you know what I mean? But it's still going to be very low traffic. You know, there's never going to be more than 2 cars there at any given time. So, you know, I mean, if we park in the back and, you know, the customers, you know, I mean, we should have room for 2 parking spots in the front. So, you know, as long as we take, you know, the entire front yard and, you know, cement it over, you know, that's our parking, so. Yeah, and signage. I'd like to have a sign.
Right. And signage is allowed by C5 clearly, but it's not permitted in R1, right? Okay.
Like I said, there's those drawbacks that she has.
Sure.
R1's going to limit, C2, or C5 is going to give a little more flexibility, but there again, you know, that transitional zoning is not a good, doesn't work good with this property.
Sure. Great. Any other questions for the applicants? Anyone? Great, thank you. We may call you back in a moment. Is there anybody else who would like to speak either in favor or against the, feel free to come up. And if you don't mind providing your name and address, please.
My name is Ruth Davis. I live at 1403 Sannheiser Drive, which is next to the substation.
Sure.
And I also have the 2 lots across the street at 1314 Sannheiser Drive. I have been in this neighborhood for 71 years. I am 73. My dad built the house. We moved into it when I was 2. There's children that live across the street. There's children that live next door to her. I am out in my yard walking a lot now that I am retired. But the biggest thing is 3 years ago, if you all will go back and do any research on the wrecks that have been on Sannheiser Drive in the last 20 years, in that curve that comes out, and how many mailboxes have been knocked down from Tom Card's house which I know he passed away, but Mary still lives there. Andy Redden, I can't think of the other two people's names right this minute. 3 years ago, September the 15th, my truck was completely totaled in my driveway when a car came too fast down through there, rolled 3 times in the side lot of the substation, and landed on my ramp at my front door. We do not need any more traffic, even if it's 1 or 2 cars. Right now, the traffic is horrendous with people coming in and out. There is a duplex next door, 2-story. They have vans or work vans that come in and out of there. They have and park there because that's where they live. I know that. But then they also have, during the day, they have pickup trucks and trailers that come through and circle and turn around there. We have school kids walking up and down the road, Spring Creek and back from the bus stops and everything, because they come down through my yard every day, just about. I mean, why can't she keep, and I know she's been doing a lot in this past year of refurbishing her house, because I have been seeing all of this, wondering what was going on. So now I know she's trying to put a business in there, because you see toilets out, cabinets out, this out, every 2 or 3 weeks to be picked up. So why does she want to come into a residential area that has been a residential area all these years and try to make it commercial? Then with it going commercial, it's going to raise all of us taxpayers that are homeowners' properties. And we struggle enough as it is. I know I do. I'm retired. I struggle.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak either in favor or against the request? Okay. Seeing nobody else, I'll entertain either a motion to approve or decline.
I make a motion to decline.
Okay,
Second.
all right. I have a motion to decline from Commission Member Witt and a second from Vice Chairperson Howe. To deny, yes, which means a yes vote would be to deny the request. Be clear on that. Okay, and roll call, please.
Vice Chairperson Howe,
Yes.
Commission Member Williams,
Yes.
Commission Member Witt,
Yes.
Chairperson Tuggle.
Yes. Okay, and there being no further new business, this meeting will be adjourned.